We're gonna make this customer's BMW M340i into a totally different car, top to bottom. Let's do it.
I told you, I need you, like now. I need you to pull up, give me face right now. I'm out in the city, show face, so wait. I pop out in the city.
This is gonna be a ground up build from top to bottom. I totally messed that up and went top to bottom, but it is gonna be wild. A lot of creators would keep you guys waiting and reveal each item as they do it, but I'm just gonna read the build list to get it out the way and kind of show you guys what we're doing. Obviously, we gotta do a color change wrap. I will gatekeep that until we get to it though. Then we're wrapping the calipers. We're gonna put on some wheel spacers, replacing this super cracked windshield. Then we're gonna retint these windows in nano ceramic. We'll tint the new windshield, installing a front lip, side skirts, rear diffuser, trunk spoiler, roof spoiler, aftermarket taillights, mirror caps, and doing a complete emblem blackout. Those are the parts we're putting on the car. Throw in a hardwired dash cam and radar detector. We're doing a premium exterior and interior detail, and we'll top it all off with a ceramic coating. Also, this isn't for a script. I'm not reading one. This is just the invoice because there's so many line items, I was scared I would forget one. Oh, it is super dirty. Now we're going to detail it.
Any good detail starts with the wheels. Right now it's especially important to make sure the entire car gets very, very clean before the wrap, as any dust and dirt will show through the wrap as little specks. We were also fighting the hot sun the whole time, so we had to refoam it a bunch to make sure it didn't quite dry yet. And after the wash, we'll pull it into clay bar and dry it.
So the car is all dried off and clean. We've also done a clay bar on the whole car, and we isopropyl alcohol wiped down the whole car as well. Other than these two door panels, we're gonna show you guys the process of that in just a second.
Well, we're clay barring before the paint. We clay bar before wrapping, just so it gets all the contaminants that you can't get just normally washing it. That is what we are doing. I've never done this before. Am I doing it right? Taking this yellow blob, rubbing it on the car gently. We're going over the whole door. Like the way I do that. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Why are we not going in circles?
Circle's bad.
Now I'll get some cinematics. Bro, just clay bar normal.
2 times speed. You're gonna get... We wipe it down, then check for spots. If it's all good, we move on.
All right, we figured out the hood, roof, and the trunk. All the top-facing flat surfaces are very bird poo / tree sappy. So we're gonna decide to do a little finished compound and polish all 3 of these surfaces. There's still a ton of stuff in this paint. Then there's this, which looks like bird poo went here, it dripped down a bit, and then they tried to get it off with like paper towel and scratch the heck out of it. So we're gonna get that off just so we have a really smooth bonding surface for the wrap. All right, while Logan here, I don't know if he's on frame. While this guy polishes the hood, the roof, and then the trunk, I'm about to take a ton of stuff off this car. Not really, there's not that much stuff that needs to come off, but you'll see it all.
I use strong fishing line to cut the adhesive free and take the little tiny baby spoiler off, and then I use a special tool to remove the old adhesive.
Now I'm gonna do the same removal process with this one, except that I'm gonna use tape to make a template so that I can place the new blacked out emblems in the same spot. He just finished polishing this panel. Wow. Open the door.
For proper wraps, you gotta get the handles off.
And there it is. Pull it out, and there we go. Got that over that hump. Now it'll unplug, and your door handle is out.
Can't forget about this little thing. I also don't wanna drop the screw through the door.
Done deal. I don't want to get locked out of the car. So what I'm going to do is take this off so the door physically can't close. The goal is to not scratch the paint around the area it sits in. There we go. All right, next for disassembly is the taillights, and to reach the inner ones, we got to get rid of this carpet insert here. There's so many of these little clips. Those for, what is this? Just, okay, well, that needed to come out anyway. Yeah, these come off pretty safely. Then pull that, done deal, it is out. Now it's just that screw and harness there, and these taillights will come right out. Gotta pull this trim back. Boom, inner taillights out. Boom. All of the taillights are out. So now I'm gonna remove this gas cap cover. It is literally the easiest thing ever. You poke a clip right here, then you slide it off. I just finished taking off these two BMW roundels, front and back. So with everything we disassembled off the car, that means we're wrapping up the delivery day and then the day one of actually working on it. Cut to whatever we're doing tomorrow. Day two. We are wrapping the calipers today. Why are we wrapping already red calipers red? Well, that would be because this is a reflective red. I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram. It's basically that reflective red that like really pops out at night. I'm gonna take the wheel off, wrap the caliper, wash the wheel, install a spacer, put the wheel back on, and do that 4 times.
For the caliper wrapping process, I was more worried about getting it 100% clean than anything because the adhesive won't stick to brake dust. So to get these done, I'd use a couple inlays and then the main piece. The shape and corner depth of these made them very difficult. Then we started replacing the windshield.
The caliper is now wrapped. I cut the camera off early because my windshield guy showed up, but anyway, you get the point. You wrap the caliper. I cleaned the wheel while it was off, and now I'll throw that on, but before, we're doing wheel spacers. It's 15mm in the back, so first I clean the hub. Next, I wanna take the actual spacer itself, put some anti-seize lubricant on it here. If you're nice and generous with that, they'll have no issues. So I'm just gonna slide that on. Now with the spacer kit comes these extended wheel bolts. They are the exact same like conical shape here, and they're the same head. They are just exactly 15mm longer to basically act like a factory nut when this is on. If you use your factory nuts, you might not be able to experience your spacers for very long.
I never ended up filming it, but I always make sure to immediately torque the wheels to spec.
I'm gonna show you guys a little breakdown of how I got this done. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to bridge that gap. I'm gonna put one piece on these 2 segments and one piece on these 2 bottom segments. Now that we're done the caliper, we can throw on these beautiful wheel spacers. These are 13mm. We already threw the 15mm ones on the back.
Of course, we do the same steps as earlier. That's gonna go for all 4 wheels. And it genuinely makes a pretty good difference.
Satin, chrome, dark red, all in one wrap film. It is gonna look really good. Currently, we have it mocked up on the car with magnets and tape, and that is because this film is directional. We are gonna piece this out. Let's do it.
So I always want to start with the rocker just so I get the height down. Then I cut that quarter panel out. And I'll scoot everything over to the left to give me some room. Cut that door, do it again with the scooting. Cut the other door, and now we got a fender left over. Bada bing. The door's a little interesting because we can't glass it out like a typical vinyl because it doesn't really have very much air release in this film. So I have to work it down with the squeegee from top to bottom using gravity and kind of just forcing it. Then I'll wrap around the edges with heat in my wrap glove. After they're wrapped around, I'm able to trim them.
This door is all done, so now I gotta do this one. I don't like to cut on the car. When it comes to this chrome, it's very stiff, and it actually takes a lot of pressure to cut through, especially even if you're doing the opposite edge trick. So what I'm gonna do is place knifeless on the edges of the panel to cut it.
Once the knifeless is down, I just get started with prepping and placing the vinyl. And install wise, it's gonna go the same as the door, same with the cutting, same with the heating and the trimming. So basically this is just part 2 of the first thing I just did. Then I move on to the quarter panel, and this is where I prep it with masking tape and knifeless tape on the edges. And in a second, I'm gonna make a brutal mistake that's gonna cause me a lot of time and effort. So this is where I start on the quarter panel. I started pulling it on this back end towards the tail light. I got it tacked down and then I moved forward. Now, I didn't realize what happened, but you can see it right now. That area near the door is not gonna make it. And this is when I found that out. And I did have to move the entire thing, reposition it, heat it, make sure none of those wrinkles stayed. and miraculously we didn't have glue lines or contamination, but that could have been really bad. That could have just been redoing the whole quarter panel if we weren't careful enough with that. But yeah, I ended up making the coverage and the mistake didn't go as bad as I thought it was gonna. Then I got this A-pillar part down, and this was super easy. I'm actually surprised because you usually have to curve the vinyl, but I gave myself plenty to work with. Now I'll lay it down and pull that knifeless through to cut the edges.
We're gonna throw this gas cap on. Okay, all right. The color shift from almost a matte black all the way to this satin chrome red. This is an insane film. We are removing the tint. Currently, this is just normal carbon film, and the main reason we're switching is because he wants the nano ceramic. So we're going up 2 levels, and he's also going darker. Currently, this is 5%. This and this are 5, but this is 15. And this has nothing. We are tinting this windshield with 35, dropping this down from 15 to 5, and then we're keeping these all 5, but just again, swapping them out for this nano ceramic, because you can already tell there's actually some issues with the install. Some like glue in there, choppy hand cuts. Here it is. Water in there. All the tint is removed. We're working on getting all this adhesive off. Front has a lot of adhesive, back does not. But yeah, this thing's a fishbowl now. Look how weird that looks. It's so much worse.
We're doing a front windshield. Front door, gotta get it scrubbed up. We got some baby soap in here and some water.
Well, I think they wanted to know what we call
I was gonna say that. Yeah, that's that Diddy juice.
So you prefer the little one?
No, just for the video.
All right, tinting is sort of boring, so I cut most of it out. That windshield, obviously it needs a wipe down, but it is 35% on the shield and 5% all the way around. You can't see a single thing except for your own reflection. Now it's a lot cleaner. Joseph just left, so the plan for the rest of the day is to knock out this fender and knock out that rocker.
I love wrapping front fenders. They're just fun because I'll go from relaxing laying to dealing with doing the sharpest corner on the whole car all in the same panel. So yeah, these corners did not want to grab smoothly. They just wanted to fold and make fingers since this material has little to no stretch. That's why the majority of the time lapse is working the corners and edges down and trimming them. Lastly, for the side, I'll do the rocker.
Okay, the whole side is done, and that means I am going to partially reassemble. All right, it's the next day and we are starting on the roof. Before I work on the actual roof panel itself, I always like to take care of the antenna. If you do it in the opposite direction, you're on the wrap. Don't wanna do that. Scratch, fade, push in, not good. I don't know, I was just listing things. We don't wanna scratch it. This wrap doesn't have hardly any stretch, as you know. Chrome wrap, especially satin chrome, doesn't have very much stretch at all. So this, okay, who is doing that? Getting the dust off the piece. Pause for impact, lay it down. Now we'll just do the same steps to the other 2 sides.
And those steps are laying the knifeless tape in the same shape you want the cut or the seam, and then I just lay the panel, I pull that knifeless tape, and then I cut the edges and tuck them under the antenna. However, I failed that first attempt. As you saw, something went wrong with the corner. I'm not really sure, and I couldn't really pinpoint it, but I gave it another try with a new piece, and it just acted different, so let's do it. And by it, I mean the roof. This panel was the most torturous panel in the whole car. It's a really tricky material because it has no air release, so we have to pull up the side as we work it down. We can't just glass the panel, so I have to have somebody hold the other end to make sure it's using the right amount. And right around here, we kind of got the flow of things. So once we get that down, I'll trim the edges just like literally every other panel. and then I'll tuck around the antenna and cut it all out.
All right, looks pretty good down here. Oh, just kidding. This is the next day, and today we're finishing the entire rear end in terms of the wrap. We got some other goodies going on there later. For this rear end, first we're gonna remove this rear diffuser. What's funny is these exhaust tips aren't actually real. They come off with the diffuser. So we're gonna take this off to make sure that's gonna be super clean. And it also might be one of those, well, once it's off type of situations, but we won't show that quite yet. Lots of stuff to do today. Ooh, that hurt so bad. Okay, so I did some mining off camera.
That mining being taking the rear bumper off so I can remove the diffuser, which I quickly found out was easier to do upside down for some reason. And then after I removed that, I'm gonna put it back on the car so that we can wrap it with it off. But before doing the bumper, I wanted to do the trunk, which is actually two pieces. This bottom piece near the BMW emblem first, and then we knifeless and do a seam for the top half. There is zero chance I would have got this in one piece with this material. If you think you could do it, I'll hire you. Okay, just kidding. I know it's possible. It's just bad for the longevity of the wrap. And anyway, we do have help coming in a second. You'll see that soon.
Change of plans. I was gonna do that whole rear end today, but after further inspection of that bumper, I don't wanna solo it. So I've got a set of hands helping me either tomorrow or Friday, and then we'll do that rear bumper with some help. So we're gonna do the, whatever this is called. Quarter panel. Holy clip farm.
I've been talking through these panels, but this is just another door, so I'll let it speak for itself.
Oh, my arm gets sore.
And thankfully, I learned from the mistake on the first rocker with the positioning, and as you can see, I just did a lot of tape and repositioning to make sure this would be perfect when I peeled the backing paper. And luckily, as you could see by the fact that this one clearly got done much faster, it went well.
All right, it's the final day of wrapping. We've got both bumpers and the hood, and so today we've got some help.
Hello.
After the roof, I was kind of dreading the hood, but I knew it would be more tedious rather than difficult, so we just need to get started, which after cleaning and positioning, we did. The positioning is very important because from front to back, we maybe only had like an inch to play with, which, you know, is a lot. That's more than average, you know, it's massive, you could say. But it also meant we needed to get the center point perfect and then work outward. And we couldn't glass or stretch the film, remember that. So when you're seeing us work outward and just lifting the film and squeegeeing it down, that's because we didn't have any stretch to work with. So enjoy watching us battle like 100 hands worth of fingers. But again, it worked out perfectly. No contamination, no glue lines, no heat marks, nothing. I mean, it was just a flawless hood, and we're really happy at how it turned out. But man, look at what we had to reposition that like what, 30 times? Look at that. Anyway, it turned out really good.
All right, we're gonna do the bumper now. I don't think I could see my head. This bumper was a lot tougher than it looks. We thought it was gonna be really easy. We got this side down, it worked pretty well. And then this side's just currently beating us up a little bit. Getting the side down, it's just gonna be this area right here. It just has so much bunched up that all has to fit into that type of shape. It might be in trouble, what do you think?
My thoughts on this bumper are we should just leave it blue.
Good idea. All right, change of plans. We got the rear bumper and we got the hood done, but my help had to leave, so we're gonna wait on the front bumper. Bumper time. This is the last big panel to wrap. I am gonna solo this.
And honestly, soloing this bumper went really well. I just focused on one side at a time, even though typically I'd work from the middle out, but this material honestly made me switch up a bunch of technique rules in the name of just getting it to work. I did have to reposition this side a bunch, but again, it's in the name of making it work, and look, it did. Oh, and then my camera died, so it'll just cut randomly here in a second.
Slide this in. I'm gonna hold it with my head to grab the screw. Where is it? I got it. Wow, that actually worked. Now I got to take these things and put them on the sides. Line up these clips. Let's see them. Sheesh. Dude, they look good. Now I'm installing this aftermarket diffuser with third brake light. I have already installed the harness it needs. Come check this out. So it goes from factory tail light to this, which then splits into factory tail light again and third brake light. All right, anyway, I'm gonna put this on now. Let's not hit the wrap. We gotta be very delicate here.
I was gonna put the diffuser on with the bumper off the car, and then quickly I would realize one side when I push it in would pull out the other, so we moved to doing it on the car, and my mom actually helped hold up one side so it didn't hit the wrap. W Mom, you just saw us testing a bunch of lights to make sure the wiring for the third brake light worked good. It worked flawlessly, so we threw the diffuser on, followed by the side spats. And now it's time to put the emblems back on. Again, they're replacing the chrome M340i badge with the black one, so we just got to throw this on. Gotta just position it really good. Don't really have more than one chance here. That looks good though. Let me make sure. Damn, that's fire actually. Let me make sure I can press it in. I gotta really get this pressed in, man.
All right, the rear end has the roof spoiler, the tail lights, the diffuser, third brake light, and the M340i badge. So it is one BMW emblem from completion, and it looks crazy. So now I'm working on all the door handles in this chrome. I really wanted to one-piece them all. Unfortunately, it's just not gonna work on this shape. So we're gonna have to two-piece them. What I've been doing is knifeless on the bottom. So the plug piece is on the bottom, and then we've got that seam, which follows the body line. I'm not even sure you'd notice the seam. And then the top piece and that inlay area is one. So two-piece door handles. While I'm doing that, my dad is actually cutting out BMW emblem color match pieces, and he's doing really good at it. He's killing it. Look at that. I've been cutting the edges, but he's killing the 90s with the scissors. This is what it looks like to go in. There we go, a little POV of the emblem. As you saw, I did it with all the center caps, so we're gonna throw these on. Surprise, another thing you didn't know was going on the car. We've got carbon fiber paddle shifters. It's got the real piece of carbon inlaid to the plastic. It's gonna be a direct factory replacement. On these BMWs, you gotta take the airbag off. And now I gotta get that blue clip out, which will reveal a bolt. I unbolt that. That should let me take this off. Then I'll put the new one, re-clip it in, re-bolt it in, and that will be the swap. Here's the before. That's what presses it in, and that's what springs it back. So we're gonna keep those on it. Throw this on. I do need both hands though. Okay, it's on. All right, and here are these ones. It was closer to the spring than the other one. So the actual feel doesn't feel as long travel. It's like think. I don't know how to describe it. Oh, dude, these are fire. Now that the shifters are done, do you notice anything different? No more blue. So we actually replaced it with an entire new one. It looks a lot better. Now there's like literally no blue. It's just red, white. So no blue. Other than that, now I'm doing the mirror. So these are off the car mainly for the wrap, and so while they're off, we're gonna swap this beautiful gloss black cap for this even more beautifuler carbon fiber cap. I'll go over how this is done, and then I will just do a time lapse to spare you the boredom. Pop the glass out, undo some wires, push out some clips, pull the cap off, and then I just transfer the light bar over, clip the new one in, put the glass back on after putting all the wires in, and it's ready to go in the car. Out with the old, in with the new. Now we gotta throw it on the car. All right, now we got the side skirts. They are gloss black and they're gonna stick out a decent amount. All I'm gonna do is prep the adhesive, get it all clean, and then it'll be ready to mock up on the car with the adhesive. I won't press it in yet. Then we will screw in our edge screws, get a middle one, press it in, get the rest. That's how we do it. If that makes any sense. Let's start doing. Finishing up the door handles right now. They are insanely hard. That's the battle I'm fighting this morning.
I know you've only seen us use adhesive for the arrow so far, but I promise we use actual hardware and factory mounts to secure them professionally. I just forgot to record it.
What are we doing?
We're ceramic coating this hoe.
And we're ceramic coating it with a specific coating for wrap.
All right, I got the Ray-Ban Meta glasses on. This is gonna be the genuine customer's reaction. I'm mic'd up, he's not, so not sure how that'll go, but the car is finished. He's about to pull up right now. I'm about to open the garage, let's do it. What's up?
Oh my god, that's like a different beast.
That's insane, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't even look like the same car.
Well, let's take a look. Yeah.
Dude, oh my god. I'm so glad we went this color.
It's good.
This is a different car. This isn't the same car at all.
That's insane.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
100%.
And here's what he saw.